Paris erupted in anger Sunday as hundreds of pro-Palestinian demonstrators flooded the streets, accusing Israel of breaking the Gaza ceasefire and demanding that France impose immediate sanctions. Chants of "Disarm Israel" and "Palestine, we will not be silenced" echoed through the capital as protesters waved Palestinian flags and marched toward government buildings, calling out what they described as France's hypocrisy. Salah Hamouri, spokesperson for Urgent Palestine, warned that the ceasefire means nothing while Israeli attacks continue. This ongoing genocide has not stopped. From Gaza to the West Bank and Jerusalem, the entire region is under the Zionist project and US pressure, he said.
We're not going to believe that this ongoing genocide has stopped. And it's not just in Gaza, as has been said. The West Bank, Jerusalem, the Palestinians of 1948, and the whole region are threatened by the Zionist project and by the American desire to bring all the people of the region to their knees.
France recognized the State of Palestine in September 2025. But protesters say it's a hollow gesture. Paris has refused unilateral sanctions on Israel, insisting that any punitive action must go through the EU or the UN, a stance many here call moral cowardice. Larton, president of the Interpeople's Solidarity Campaign, accused Israel of ignoring the truce. The ceasefire is respected by Palestinians, not by Israel, he said, adding that Tel Aviv fires when it wants and stops when it wants.
The ceasefire is being respected by the Palestinians and not by the Israelis, simply because the dominant force is Israel. Israel opens fire when it wants and stops when it wants. A ceasefire in the Israeli sense means stopping firing between the two shots. Cessation of fire sounds like the ceasefire in Lebanon, but it's not being respected either. Since the ceasefire, around 300 Palestinians have already died. So there you have it. Admittedly, the intensity of what I call lucid yellow has diminished, and people are breathing a little easier, getting some sleep, maybe a little calmer nights. But the drones are no longer watching, putting pressure on, and the Israeli presence is still there.
Another protester called the EU a disgrace for failing to sanction Israel despite pressure from Spain and Ireland. Our government's silence over arms deliveries raises questions about our values, he said.
It is a disgrace to humanity that the European Union has been unable to impose sanctions on Israel. Ursula von der Leyen proposed sanctions after only 2 years, on September 17th, while Spain and Ireland had been calling for a review of the association agreement since February 2024. So the European Union's inability to apply sanctions and its continuation of the association agreement, the lack of a strong reaction to arms deliveries on the part of our states, including France, all this raises profound questions about our values and poses enormous problems, including within our own societies.
Palestinian media claim 241 people have been killed and over 600 injured in Gaza since the truce began, blaming 194 Israeli violations. Israel counters, accusing Hamas of breaking the deal by delaying the return of deceased detainees. With President Donald Trump reaffirming that the ceasefire remains active, Europe once again stands divided, torn between Washington's diplomacy, Tel Aviv's defiance, and the growing roar of the streets demanding justice for Gaza.